do you want to do the introduction?
Don't fuck yourself.
And it always goes like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. Well, welcome to the Pacifist Podcast. You got myself, Mushu, Jesus, and a very special guest, Benny Curtis.
Hi.
Benny is, what do we call you? A human being?
Yeah,
Content.
Yeah, that's nice.
That sounds nice and new age.
Yeah.
A content creator. Anyway, well, we are talking about movies today, and as Benny makes them, we thought we would get him on to chat along with us.
Yeah, sort of branching out from the normal ethos we have of not knowing what the fuck we're on about at any given time. We've actually got someone that might know a little bit more than we do collectively.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah,
it is. What I'm hoping for is that he can just use lots of buzzwords and phrases that are just going to confuse us all. Fingers crossed.
Okay. All right.
Wanting to start that trend off. What do you mean buzzword?
What do you mean buzzword?
Yeah.
You know, like stupid work-related saying. I bet you've got some at work. What do you say when, I don't know, you've got a missing child?
We don't want to know.
I'm innocent.
There's a crucial bit of context I'm missing here, you know.
Just me being confused.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, we haven't had anything to do with missing children that we know of yet. As a podcast, no, we should point that out.
Oh,
it looks like it's freezing where you are, Sam.
You what?
It looks like it's freezing where you are. You can see your breath and everything.
It's this new light I've got, and maybe if I turn the brightness down, you won't be able to see all the breath, because I'm there every time I breathe. I'm like, it's a smoke screen. It's like I've got some visual effects going on. How about this? No. Okay, people. Well, I am very mysterious today, so it will just be a nice cloud every single time I breathe.
How exciting!
Anyway, fucking enough of this shit. I'm wearing a hat because I don't want people to take the piss out of my hair again today, and I've also moved locations. Ta-da!
I'm not wearing a hat and in the same place as always. Oh, don't ask him that. Don't ask him to see his hair. He took it off earlier, and it's sort of.
It's pretty bad, Benny. It's about as bad as it gets, if I'm honest.
Take it off.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. You look like Errol Flynn or something.
You are getting all of these compliments at the minute, aren't you?
I knew it was a good idea.
Like,
him on.
To me, he just looks like an overaged fan of fucking One Direction.
I am an overaged fan of One Direction. I'll have you know. That's the one with
Yay, Andy, you've got someone you can talk to about them.
Oi, fuck off, leave me alone.
Right, movies.
Yeah.
Let's get the ball rolling. I actually want to start with just one question straight at the beginning, because it should be one everybody can remember. What was the first film you saw in the cinema?
Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Sorry. Nickelodeon in your case, Mushu, when it only cost 5 cents to get in.
We had the moving pictures when I was young. It was all the rage, right? Yeah, Ghostbusters was the first film I saw at the cinema.
Nice.
The first Ghostbusters, and I only remember it because I literally wet myself with the librarian scene, which I think is cut from most of the times I've seen it recently. It's been cut, the full scene there, because you had the librarian giving it all the shh and all that, and then it turned into this horrible creature like oof, and come rushing towards the screen. Yeah, and I literally wet myself because I was nowhere near old enough to be watching that sort of film. My dad took me anyway.
That's amazing. I am. Well, I actually, it's got to be said, when I was 18 or 19, I got ridiculously high, like way too high. You know what it's like when you first start smoking weed, and you don't know when to stop. I didn't know when to stop, and we were like, "Oh, let's put a movie on. Ghostbusters is good." Nope. Didn't get past the librarian. It's just like, no, we need to watch something nicer. Has anyone got a comedy? Even though that is a comedy. And I've seen it before loads of times. It was a bad state of affairs.
Yeah, I mean, I completely understand. On the upside, I wasn't a grown-up when I had to turn it off. When I had to stop watching it, I was still a child, so I feel better about that.
Oh well, fair enough. Jeeves, Benny, what you got?
Genuinely, I can't remember.
Oh, of course you can't. How
I
can you
can't.
not?
I watched when I was a child. Most of my film watching was in the front room on VHS.
No, but that's why the first trip to the cinema. Was it not magical?
He's like, no, Mum and Dad just tied me to a lamppost outside, and I had to wait there for 2.5 hours.
Pretty much.
Like a dog, just strapped up.
My dad gave me a pack of crisps and a bottle of Imcho and said, "Wait here."
Oh well, that's an easy one, isn't it? What about you, Benny?
Well, the earliest film I remember watching at the cinema is Johnny English.
Christ.
That was like 10 years ago.
How old are you?
31.
You say you're like 16 or something.
Don't tell Andy, he's my boss.
Oh my god.
The what?
So,
And the only reason I remember that is because my older brother sat there and fell asleep and was snoring through the whole film. And it was really bloody embarrassing.
I do that now. You can't put me in a dark room. Put me in a dark room for 2 hours and not being able to move around. I'm out like a light. It's amazing. I took my kids to see the new Toy Story. I don't know if you've all seen the new Toy Story. Yeah, it's pretty good apparently. Although I had to watch it again after because I fell asleep for an hour of it. I got woken up by my little boy.
I still thought it was a bit like Blade Runner, which is weird for Toy Story. It's like they started talking about how toys are sentient and have emotions and can experience things, but ultimately they'll kind of be passed by the wayside as a child grows up and forgets about them. And I thought that's a bit heavy for a Toy Story film.
When you think about it, it's actually horrific, isn't it?
Yeah, like all these little guys are alive and they just get fucking tossed away and forgotten about, and then they have to
I mean, there's an apocalypse movie for you, isn't it? Like 4,000 years in the future, humanity's dead, but the Toy Story toys are still like knocking around.
Toy Story, mad
dragged down like a half-mutilated corpse.
Yeah, cursed to eternal life by an unknown force.
Benny, you've kind of just killed Toy Story for me.
I do that, man. I do that.
The other thing that I read the other day was what happens if one of the toys dies, but the human won't know about it, so we'll carry on playing with them. It'd just be like having a corpse dangling around in front of you, wouldn't it?
That's fucked up, man. Like Buzz Lightyear just like trying to hold his composure as he's seeing Woody's corpse just thrust in front of him.
And Woody looks
like leave him alone, he's already dead.
Let's give him a burial. So that must mean that Sid was actually a nice guy. He was like, they're dead, we'll just stick them under the ground. Horrible kid next door.
He's just trying to, fix it for him, really. He understood that they've got like an eternal mortal coil, and he was just trying to do him a favour. Deeply understood man.
Be at peace with this enormous rocket.
Yeah, well, see you in Valhalla. Lord alive. Come on then, Benny. What was your first movie at the cinema?
It tells up quite nicely with Mushu, actually, because I saw Ghostbusters 2. And I thought it was brilliant because it's the first time I'd ever been to the cinema. Except for like right at the beginning, I sort of pestered my dad with loads of questions because they go to the birthday party. Do you remember they dress up as Ghostbusters and go to a birthday party to earn some money, and the kids are like, He-Man. It's like, who gives a fuck about He-Man? Like, this guy's got a fucking electric fucking ghost catching pack on his back. Like, he's got a nuclear reactor in a child's face, pretty much, and they're more excited about a man in a loincloth. Like, it's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it's like, it's a bit gay, isn't it?
I mean, all of the shit from the 80s was a bit gay. You talk about He-Man, my lord, it's totally fucked up.
I mean He-Man the movie, I don't know if you remember that.
With Dolph.
Masters of the Universe, it's a banger.
Genuinely can't work out to this day whether it's a masterpiece or it's just a fucking disaster, but I don't know. I'd watch it over and over again.
I think
I guess that's got to be a good thing.
there's like a weird thing with Skeletor. Like for a start, he's got lips, which is a weird idea for a skull to have lips. And like he's quite sensual all the way through. He's like, He-Man. Like he really loves He-Man. Like he really loves him. And that little guy, he's the best bit. The keys, Kevin, the keys. That little guy with the amazing.
What is his name? With the hat. He was in like the Final Fantasy VIII game.
Was it Whizbit? No, it wasn't Whizbit, was it? That was an actual kids cast. That was an actual kids program. It was something like that, though, wasn't it? Orzo.
Oh, that rings a bell. That sounds about right.
Orko. Yeah, it was Orko. Yeah. Sorry, that was you just witnessed my brain just like slotting. That was impressive. Yeah, there we go.
I'm still waiting for the sequel because I swear at the end of that movie it said "we'll be back" or "to be continued" or something like that.
Never say that. You never like Skeletor comes out of the goop at the end. He's like, "I'll be back," and like, you're not coming back. If you say to the audience you're coming back, it's like Mario Brothers, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
At the end, they're like, we're gonna have another adventure, and they look at the camera, and and it never happened. Just don't do it.
It was my first experience of the disappointment of no sequels coming when they promise it, and that would have been like in the 80s. So like since then, I never hold out for a sequel. Although now, I mean, they keep on making them.
Well, to be fair, they've not been dishonest because they haven't put a time limit on it.
Well,
you know.
I mean, that was 2021.
Tell us.
Sorry?
I was going to say, maybe the Toy Story toys will be able to tell us or record it, 100 years into the future when the Skeletor comes back.
Oh, exactly that. Maybe that's, that film, Number 9, I think it is. I don't know. It felt like a Tim Burton film.
With the little creature on the front cover that's like luminous green.
A toy.
A
little toy. Yeah, they're just running around with like scissors as swords, trying to stay alive because there's other things tearing them to pieces, like robots.
That actually sounds quite good. I've never watched it. I've only looked at the front cover of it.
It's all right. I watched it the other day. The people who do the voicing, it surprised me. Like halfway through, I was just like, "Oh, I know who you are." Now I don't, but at the time I did.
Oh, that's my favourite thing. When you look at when you go on IMDb, you're watching it like one of these animated things, and you're looking at all the famous people in it, thinking like, just holy fuck, this is like so star-studded. I love doing that, providing there's a lot of stars in it, obviously. Otherwise,
it's just a bunch of unknowns.
I keep ending up watching these weird animated, like Russian animated films and stuff like that because the kids like the look of them on Netflix.
Oh God,
mine
do the same for shit Chinese films, just like shit rip-offs of A Shark's Tale and stuff like that, and they're garbage. I can't handle them.
The Shark's Tale was a masterpiece to begin with, wasn't it?
Yeah, Oscar worthy.
Okay, Shark's Tale was a bad example, but there's one that I'm clearly thinking of. I can't remember the name, but it was just so bad, and they go on for so long. They just never seem to end. There's a new one on Netflix at the moment about like a little girl who goes to the fucking moon, and there's this weird moon dog, and it's fucking terrible. It looked like it could be good. It really fucking wasn't.
But then again, you consider what we probably watched when we were younger, and it was probably just as fucking awful.
No, Defenders of the Earth, He-Man.
Oh man, fucking Mandarin Magicians. What a badass.
Yeah.
Clearly I'm wrong. Fair enough.
I mean, an episode of Woof the other day. Does anyone remember that?
I remember
Woof. He scratches his nose and he turns into a dog.
Yeah.
And does nothing with that ability. Like he does absolutely fuck all with that ability.
What can you do?
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, you could probably win crafts, get some money, probably go on Britain's Got Talent or something, or at least like save someone from a burning building. Because as a child, you understand sort of how fire works, but the dog has the limber agility to be able to sort of leap over the fire. I don't know.
What you have here is you're assuming that when he turns into the dog, he's changing his whole mindset. Whereas I'm pretty sure if I turn, like all those things, they require bravery, good looks, skill, talent, something like that. If I turned into a dog, I would still be myself, probably with none of those things. I'd just be a dog version of me, just being like, well, I'm not going into that burning building. That looks dangerous.
Yeah, but this dog drives a milk cart. Like, there's an episode where he's driving a milk cart around and delivering milk, and he's quite an industrious dog. Like, he really gets in there.
I reckon I could drive a milk cart. I reckon I'd do that. That's not running into a burning building, is it?
It's a start.
I deliver papers, or I'll take people's slippers to them. That sort of shit.
That's what I mean. Like, to say sausages every now and again, just to make someone smile.
Could he talk? I can't remember.
If a dog came up to me and just went sausages, I'd be like, fuck.
Especially sausages.
Yeah, shocking. The only problem with that one is he used to turn back into a human and just be fully naked, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Crufts is probably out for me on that one. Look at this massive boy. He's amazing. He hasn't sniffed another dog's arse or anything. It's just my 6 foot flabby ass frame in the middle of Crufts getting looked at by a bunch of old ladies. That'd be fucking shameful.
Yeah, but while you're there, they can at least inspect your anus and make sure that you're like, good working order and stuff. So,
well, I mean, I am nearly 40, and anus inspection is on the cards.
Nearly. Andy will do it for you.
Right, so we're 10 minutes in, and we're talking about anus inspections.
Yeah,
we've done well, guys. We've done well.
It didn't take long. Oh, dearie me.
So if you were going to turn Woof into like a cinematic universe, who would be the boy or the man or the woman who turns into the dog, and what kind of dog would they be?
Oh, that's a good question. Jeeves? It's always good to put him on the spot.
I'll tell you what, I can't remember what breed they are. The ones with the whiskey barrel under their necks.
Yeah, Saint Bernard.
Yeah, Saint Bernard. Yeah, them.
Bernard. Sorry,
I quite like them dogs. Just
massive
fur everywhere.
Ugh.
As for the child, I don't really know.
I can imagine Brian.
I don't really know actors' names. I know their characters.
Brian Blessed would be an awesome choice for that.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty exciting.
I see. I'm taking a different approach on this. I want someone like who's the Mountain from Game of Thrones? That real big bastard.
Oh, what's his name?
Let's just call him the Mountain.
We're calling the Mountain. Yeah, fuck it. So I want the Mountain to turn into a Chihuahua. I want the exact opposite, or a Jack Russell, because Chihuahuas have big heads. That works. Yeah, big to small.
No, a Chihuahua would be great because you'd have someone that's actually like practically superhuman in human form, and then the special ability is to turn into a shivering little quiver rat, like just in the corner, just yapping at people.
Yeah,
and now he's about to find out that being a Chihuahua isn't so easy. Already.
Yeah, something to that effect. What about you, Benny? It was your question.
I mean, I'd probably pick Nick Cage because I think at this stage in his career he will say yes to anything. So and he's got loads of energy. And I think what I try and do is I just try and find like a sort of diseased dog with 3 legs from like a pound or something. It doesn't really matter. It's more the fact it's like a tripod dog. And I mean the rest, right? It writes itself, really, doesn't it? Just Nick Cage as a tripod dog, just
Yeah, running into burning buildings and getting burnt, I imagine.
Yeah, losing another
leg.
Yeah.
I like the way you've gone for the torture aspect.
It's quite good.
Yeah, it's kind of dawning on me why you've gone into sort of production and stuff like that, because I'm guessing it's either with an imagination like that, it's either that or prison.
Yeah, pretty much. Those are my options. So,
come on then, Mushy, we've all answered. Dogs and peoples.
I don't know. I've just turned someone just generally fairly ordinary. I don't know, like Danny DeVito into a greyhound.
Something skinny. I like it.
Well, he's a little fella, isn't he? He can't be used to moving that fast.
No.
So chuck him in a body like a greyhound, mate. He'd be fucking gone, and you wouldn't be able to catch him for ages. And
until he turns up naked.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. Just keep waking up in the middle of the night and naked Danny DeVito at the bottom of the bed, begging for treats.
It's got to be said though, it would be on the woof front. It would be quite nice to just be openly able to shit in public and look at someone who has to pick it up. I think I'm all right.
I've got an imagination that's ripe for prison. Right. Okay.
I mean, you can do that now, Sam. It's just you get told off about it.
No. If someone's watching me, okay, this literally never happens, but I can't shit if I'm making eye contact with someone. Not a fucking chance.
How do you know?
Can you?
Tried.
Okay.
I shit better.
Question. No,
Kids,
I haven't.
Kids, come here. I've got to try something. Kids, come here. Look at me.
Yeah, next weekend. Freddie!
FaceTime Zach.
Look. Funnily enough, I probably could with Zach because he's such a reprobate. He'd probably be like, "Oh, having a shit, are you?" Yeah. Don't forget to double wipe. Nonsense.
Only time he ever phones me is when I'm on the bloody toilet going for a shit. It's the only time he ever phones me.
Does he have like find this phone like synced into your toilet or something?
Possibly.
He's like, he's in there, boys. Quick, ring him. Why are you naked, Jesus? I'm having a shit, isn't it? That's what I always do.
Oh, don't make him rub himself. Don't make him rub himself.
Yeah, I mean, we're 15 minutes in and the nipples haven't come out yet. But yours have. Oh, we didn't record that.
No, that wasn't being recorded.
Oh, you got lucky. Moose, you had to get dressed. It's so weird.
Someone got lucky.
You can see my breath, but no word of lie. I'm boiling. I'm absolutely dying here. You wouldn't think so, though. Anyway.
I mean, the hat and the hoodie probably not a great choice, but
the hat, the hoodie with all the hair underneath it, it's like triple insulation. Whew. Anyway,
I've just made up this my own little story in my head that you're too poor to afford your heating bill and you're too proud to admit it. So you're just there like, oh, I'm so hot. Yeah, just ignore the clouds of breath and that icicle forming.
Yeah. Below this line here, I'm all blankets. Just all I'm like a little old person in an old
90-year-old woman.
Yeah, this isn't a blanket. It's just a tea towel. It looks like a blanket. It's just the rest is covered over me. Yeah, it's bad stuff. But yeah, anyway, I should say mine. The only reason I wanted to start with that question about the first film at the cinema is because of what you said off camera earlier, Benny, about something a little bit like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was my first film at the cinema.
What do you think?
It was all right. I really like the idea of like a 9-foot biscuit. I mean, that really appealed to me. Maybe not one that's been out in a garden for 6 months. The idea of just eating nothing but the cream from an Oreo and handfuls of it at that really appealed to the 6-year-old me. Yeah.
I think I was terrified by being like raped by an ant. I think that was the thing that kind of,
It wasn't really rapey though, is it? Ants aren't renowned for having a massive, great hog.
I don't know, but I've never been ant-sized, so I don't know how they'd.
I would imagine, like thinking back to how big the ants were in that. I mean, they rode them, so we can assume they're kind of horse size compared to them. And if I was wanting to get boned by a horse now, I'd probably say no. So I'd
probably. Probably.
Well, I mean, it depends on the situation. Never rule anything out. It's the same as never say to be continued. Never say no.
Yeah. Well, no, that's absolutely fair enough. No, it's funny because that new game came out on the Xbox called Grounded, which is basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You just get shrunk and you're just in a garden. You've got to build shit and fucking fend off spiders, which are massive and scared the shit out of me, like ridiculously. You know. You remember the other night when I was playing Call of Duty, Mushu, and you were on the headset, and I opened up that box and it did a fucking screamer, and I didn't know it was coming.
You did a screamer.
Both happened. It was a simultaneous thing. So you know the screamer vids. Call of Duty had an update, and if you open up a chest, some of them do a screamer vid, and they didn't tell me in advance. I wasn't prepared for it. Drop the controller and everything. Very bad. But yeah, the idea of a 9-foot spider does the exact same thing to me as that. Which is not good. Do you guys eat when you go?
I don't think a spider would be as scary. If you were tiny, No, I'll rephrase that. I think it would be as scary, but it would be a different kind of scary, and for me, a more acceptable sort of scary. Because I don't like spiders at the moment, because you're like, you see them and then they just fuck off somewhere, and you don't really know where they've gone, and you just know they're waiting for you to fall asleep or whatever, so they can come in and steal your soul. But if it's
All
huge,
the 8 legs together, just waiting.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally lying on its back, just like, ugh. Yeah, but if they're huge, I mean, obviously they're going to be scary in a kind of like, it's going to eat me sort of way, but you're going to know where it is. It's not going to be like, oh, where the fuck is it? Oh, there it is. It's enormous. Enormous.
Did you ever watch Eight-Legged Freaks?
Yeah.
I like that film.
See,
yeah, it was very
that's
funny.
the perfect size for the spider. The spiders in that would be the perfect size for me, because you could whack a leash on them and you could like walk them around. It'd be wicked. And could you imagine? You could get it to walk on the ceiling and just dangle. You know, you
Okay. And then when you fall asleep and it wraps you up in web and drinks your blood.
Well, no, because they're kind of cute up close, aren't they? They're kind of furry when they're big.
No, I don't think that. I think they're horrible.
You've all got that same look on your face.
Were you high when you watched it?
I'm not ruling it out, Jeeves.
Yeah, I don't want any kind of jumping spider that can take a man and a motorbike in one jump. That's way too fucking big. I don't want that.
But you see, this is why arachnophobia for me was the scariest of those sort of any films involving spiders, because there's so many of them and they're everywhere. It made your skin crawl. It was horrible. I mean, it made no sense. The whole film made no sense whatsoever. But other than that, it was.
Is that a John Candy film or a John Goodman?
I think it's John Goodman.
John Goodman. That bit when he turns up at the end, all pimped out in a boiler suit with like chemicals on the back. It feels like it's paying homage to every action flick when they just like pull back a cover and there's guns everywhere, but he's just got poison sprays and he comes bursting into the basement and just starts spraying them all. I think
he still gets like done by the spiders though, doesn't he? Even though he's got
no, he lives.
Does he? I thought he died.
Yeah, I thought he goes in all like overconfident, like in Aliens, and then he's overrun by spiders.
Oh shit! I thought he lived. Oh well, I watched that film when I was really young. It put me off spiders.
So did your mum just turn it off at that bit and go, and he lived happily ever after?
No, that wasn't what my mum did. My mum let me watch the first half of it, and I didn't sleep for a month. That's not how my mum rolls. It was yeah. Oh fuck no! No, I watched it with my sister. Oh fucking horror! Put me right off spiders. That didn't like them. Yeah. Anyway, should we move on to that? Move on from that. Have you got any guilty pleasures? Well, we know yours, Mushu. Yours is.
Well, mine have been assigned to me, haven't they? I mean,
well, I want to see you say something that isn't The Greatest Showman.
all right. I'll think of another little guilty pleasure. All right.
Pornhub doesn't count.
Oh, fucking hell! Can I select anything? Right, whatever's left then. I don't know what else there is. No, I don't know. It would be The Greatest Showman, or I don't know.
What is
Iron
it?
Sky 3.
Sorry, Benny.
So what is it about The Greatest Showman that you love so much, but yet feel guilty about loving it?
Well, no, a very well worded question. Thank you. Finally, no, it's I just think it's a really good. I think the choreography, the singing, the songwriting in it is amazing as well. It's got a fairly decent storyline, but it doesn't waffle on too much. It keeps it quite simple. It's got a big fire in it, a couple of elephants, wicked. I'm not a very cultured person, you know. It doesn't take a lot to impress me. But yeah, the songs are great, and the reason I feel guilty about liking it is because it's a bit gay.
Well, if it helps, Mushi, my 6-year-old daughter loves it. So
it does help somewhat, yeah.
Oh, outstanding. So I always think with guilty pleasures and movies, it's those films that you watched as a youth that when you watch them now are a bit shit, but you still love them regardless.
Oh, Cocoon then.
Okay, that is a bad movie.
No, it's an awesome movie. I'd watch that over and over again. It's so good.
What film?
Cocoon.
Never heard of it.
Then he can't even talk.
That's a weird choice. Like,
Oh God, how old were you when you first watched Cocoon, Mushu?
Well, I don't know, mate. 8 or 9, I guess. Maybe 10. Yeah.
It's about old people boning, isn't it? There's some stuff and it gives them the horn and they start shagging in a pool or something like that.
You took away something very different from me. It's like they've got these alien cocoons, which they keep, and they work out that they give the gift of youth.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, but I don't recall any boning, because I'm sure.
Oh, come on.
No, back then I had standards and stuff, and that would have made me feel nauseous. There was no
but
boning.
surely, if you're an old person and you're going to get a young body, that's the first thing you're going to do.
Oh, they didn't get young
Thank you,
bodies
Benny.
though, did they?
I mean, it's implied, isn't it?
No, because they didn't get
I mean,
young
gosh, some
bodies.
people have
They
sex.
still look the same, didn't they?
Well, yeah, but old people are always at it. I mean, they've got the highest STD rates, haven't they? Because they're all they get into those old people homes and there's like 50 women for every man, and that poor man is just fucked to death. That's why they all die.
I'm pretty sure that's not why they all die. I'm pretty sure they all die because they're very, very old.
Yeah, and they're riddled. And then all of a sudden you give them a bit of lead in their pencil because they got these alien cocoons making them all strong. Come on, baby.
I've just Googled it and literally it just says the residents of a retirement home rediscover their youth thanks to a mysterious swimming pool and friendly aliens.
Exactly.
Right.
Rediscover their youth. They're not exactly going to be like, oh, let's go play some Xbox.
Yeah, let's
in the film.
think the park. Like, it's probably not going to happen, is it?
They go swimming, don't they? That's how they rediscover their youth. They all swim, and that chap does a bomb at one point, like a proper young'un.
Yeah.
I feel like we're ruining it for you, man. I feel like we're like destroying something beautiful.
Oh no, you're using current tense. That ship's sailed. You fucking ruined that. I'm never going to watch it again.
Well, next time you watch it, just have a box of Kleenex handy. Different way of looking at it. No?
Maybe in a few years' time, mate, when that's my target sort of audience.
Oh, fucking hell.
Dust off the old VHS.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Come on, Benny. What about you? Guilty pleasures.
This is a really difficult one because, like, there are things that other people would consider guilty pleasures that I just, like, straight up fucking love. So,
perfect.
But I'd say if we're talking guilty pleasures, have any of you ever seen a film called Thanksgiving?
No.
I don't need to. You've just told me everything I need to know about that film.
And that's the beauty of it. Like, it's the beauty of it. It's about a rubber turkey puppet that sort of that's him. And he kind of attacks people and makes like puns about like, I'm going to drink your blood like cranberry sauce.
I'm going to drink your blood like cranberry sauce, meanie.
It's absolute fucking dog shit, but I love it. Like, I absolutely love it just because it's so... the people that made it, like, they genuinely believed in it 100%. You can tell when you're watching it, they thought this is going to be fucking awesome.
Is this, do you think, is this the same people who made Rubber? Or...
No,
that's what he's making me think of, is that film Rubber.
Yeah, it's giving me the same vibes, if I'm honest, Benny. Just about Will rolling around, blowing people up.
I'd recommend watching Thanksgiving. I think you within the first 30 seconds, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Oh, hang on. Thanks Killing.
Yeah.
I thought you said thanks Kelly. And when Mushi was just like, you told me everything I need to know about it. I was just like, I don't get that at all. Is it about some Irish people giving thanks to something? Makes much more sense. It's called Thanks Killing. You sound terrible.
Yeah, you're right to feel guilty about that.
Yeah, well, I've never even heard of it. Has it got anybody in it?
No.
Or is it like an independent?
Yeah, I mean, it's made by, I don't know, it's made by someone who I think has borderline social, like, sort of mental problems. And, like, I think there's a kind of, I can't really explain it with that. I think it's just something that I'm recommending to watch going forwards. I think because I think it will it'll change your life.
Well, I'm going to take a little note and then probably never find it.
Mate, I think there's a Thanksgiving 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
So the second, it's technically the second one, but in the story they pretend that the second one was so bad it got destroyed, and so there's only Thanksgiving 3.
Genius.
I feel like I'm a big fan. But
Benny, did you make these movies?
I didn't. I wish that I did. Like, I genuinely wish that I did, because the opening scene of the first film is probably one of the greatest openings to a film ever.
Oh, if I can find it, I'll put a little bit of it in now for everybody's viewing pleasure. But I can't guarantee I'm going to be able to find it. It doesn't sound like it's everywhere.
Mate, I have found lots of videos on this. You're not going to struggle finding anything on this film.
Oh, sweet
Tits, bitch. Oh, fuck. I'm pissed. Your dog had an accident. What the hell? What kind of accident? Well, I took this here axe and I accidentally cut him. Get it? Accident.
Okay, well, there you go, everyone. That's interesting, isn't it?
So there you go.
I love it. I love it.
I'm going to leave watching the actual videos after this.
I love it when shit films get sequels. Like I remember watching this film called Bloody Murder. It was called, and it was one of those awful, like, real low budget. A group of teens goes to a holiday camp thing and get murdered one by one by. That was being stabbed. They were jerked off. Yeah,
did they get murdered by the cocoon women?
Yeah, and I remember watching it thinking, this is the worst film I've ever seen, and it was so bad that it was good. It's terrible acting, terrible special effects, but it was good because of it. And then I realised they'd made a second and a third, Bloody Murder 2 and 3. The joy.
Well, the Anaconda series did the same thing, didn't they? Because they've got Anaconda versus Lake Placid, which, my God, was one of the best shit monster movies I've ever seen. It was so good. With these kind of like half anaconda, half crocodile hybrids running around, wrapping people up and spinning in the water, just decimating people. Oh, absolutely. I love a good monster movie. I did prefer it. Sorry, Benny.
Then you'll love Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a note of it. I am. Yeah, it's to be looked up for sure. Jeeves, guilty pleasure.
Oh,
it's not like you didn't know the question was coming.
I know. I did have something until he said about Thanksgiving as well. Guilty pleasure.
These things. Just a
you
pen.
know what? I think I'm going to have to go with Iron Sky.
Iron Sky's a great film. Why is that guilty?
Because the
acting, a black man white.
Acting and special effects and that is shit.
God, it's so good.
I didn't even know that they made a 2 and a 3 until Andy told me the other a couple of weeks ago. And apparently in the third one, I don't know if any of you guys seen it.
No. Not the third one or the second
the trailer.
One.
Are you going to watch it?
I'm not fussed if you spoil it.
Because this is the only thing that makes me want to watch this film is the fact that apparently Hitler comes in riding a T-Rex.
Yeah, that's in the trailer. They go into this big cave system, come out in this massive underground jungle, and Hitler's just there riding a T-Rex.
That sounds so good. It just sounds so good.
I mean, you know how that meeting went when they were plugging that film. It's like underground jungle, hit the T-Rex. It's like fucking sold. I am on that. Yeah, just make it happen.
I absolutely love the idea of that. Yeah, come on, bring it to Prime. That's what I want.
I originally found that film on Netflix just by pure random. I was just like going through and I was like, because I love World War II films and everything like that. So, I'll chuck this on because it's got Nazis and that lot in it. It was not what I was expecting.
Really not.
No, if you want
Oh.
if you want a decent weird Nazi film, Dead Snow or Dod
Oh, that's a
Snow,
cracker.
depending on yeah, it's Norwegian, I think, isn't it? Is it Norwegian? Something like that.
I think
Something
it is, yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that,
We've talked about Snow before, but I stand by. That's the only subtitled movie I've ever watched that I've had belly laughs. I was laughing my ass off, and which is problematic when you've got to read what they're saying because you know, tears in the eyes and such. Bad times. I yeah. Oh no. Dearie me. I want to watch the Iron Sky movies now. My guilty pleasure film, and it is a terrible film. But I watched it so many times when I was younger that I still love it. Is Biodome? Yes, with Pauly Shore and Kylie Minogue and one of the Baldwins.
I'd never watch it then. I hate the Baldwins.
Oh, it's just, you know, it's just one of them stoner films. It was the first film I moved when I moved out for the very first time. Like literally that night, me and my old housemate. How have you not seen it? Well, it's because it's shit, actually. I can understand why you haven't seen it.
Not just not seen it. I don't think I've ever heard of it.
No?
No.
Well, it's Pauly Shore, so, I mean, can't expect a huge amount from him. He's just a bit birdie. Literally all he's got. It's, yeah. But, you know, it was, I think it came out, it's an MTV movie, so it's back when MTV were just making shitty little stoner flicks.
Right, that was probably before
Like
the days that I had MTV.
Well, I mean, I didn't have MTV, but it, you know, it's like it loads up and it's got MTV and then like a cockroach eating part of it back in the day. No,
yeah, it's probably like early noughties, wasn't it?
Oh no, it was way before. It was 90s for sure. Just based on Kylie Minogue acting in it back when she was sort of fit. I mean, it's just not really my cup of tea. But
if we're talking Kylie Minogue in a film, it's Street Fighter. All the way.
Yeah.
Gomez
was she
beaten up by Jean-Claude Van Damme? Like that's a movie right there.
I was actually talking about this film the other day with Ash.
Right.
I don't know what it was. I think it was someone walked past me and I was like, they look like one of the characters from it. The Russian, always in like red pants or whatever.
Oh, the main guy.
Yeah. There was a guy that it literally looked like a split image of him, obviously with clothes on. Yeah. And I was talking to Ash about it and he was just like straight over his head. So I had to get a trailer up and show it to him.
Youth of today, mate.
Yeah, now I remember why this film was
today. Shocking.
What the most tragic thing about that film is the fact that's the last film that Raul Julia Gomez ever made before he died of cancer, and it's dedicated to him. So Street Fighter is dedicated to his memory, which is kind of like shitting on the coffin, isn't it? Really,
that is.
Oh, sure.
It's not what you want to be remembered by, is it? It really isn't.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Oh, he's done all these wonderful things. Street Fighter. That's the one. That's the one to remember for.
I've done Shakespeare.
Yeah, but do you remember when you flew with your little gloves and you were shooting electricity? That was brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Loved it. I think that was the first film I saw at the cinema when I realised that not everything I saw at the cinema was good.
Oh God!
I was like, everything at the cinema was amazing, and then Street Fighter.
That is a bad. I know that feeling, Benny. And I lasted for quite a long time before I had that experience. It didn't happen until I was out in America. We didn't go all that often, but when I was out there with my old dear, we went to the cinema every Wednesday. It was just what we did, and like eventually you run out of decent shit to watch, so we started just watching what was left. And I saw this film about dragons that had probably the greatest trailer I've ever seen, and it was horse shit. It was so bad. I don't remember the name.
Which dragon film are we talking about?
No, it wasn't a good one. It was like Chinese dragons. I don't like Chinese dragons for one because I think they always look like caterpillars with cat heads. They're not intimidating. You know, like Dragonheart dragons or Game of Thrones dragons. They're badass, but no, Chinese ones.
Intimidating.
Yeah, was that Sean Connery's voice? I mean, he was a nice guy. Okay, so
that's your level of intimidation, is it? That's what you consider to be intimidating.
I mean,
leave me alone. Take all my money.
If he was to get fucked up and get a little bit angry, I'm sure he could be quite intimidating. But the look is what I'm talking about. I didn't even mean to say Dragonheart. I meant to say the well, I can't remember what it's called. What's the cool one? The one set in England. We talked about it. Rain of Fire.
Rain of Fire.
That kind of dragon. Is that better, Benny?
So intimidating because he was like a cuddly dragon. He was just like telling him nice stories and sleeping with him when he was cold and stuff. Like, that's not very intimidating.
No, I mean, his personality wasn't, but I mean, a lion looks like it's cuddly and sweet, but can still bite your face off. I mean,
yeah, but it had the voice of Sean Connery, and it was all like, "Oh, I remember years ago, I was an Iceman and stuff." You know, like I'm not threatened. I'm not threatened.
Yeah, but he was aggressively helpful.
It's got to be said. Have we all seen that movie?
Well,
I did particularly love the bit when he pretended to shoot with an arrow and he like falls down in the hustle and lands in a puddle and not a river, and he's just sat there and his eyes open like, "Fuck, what do we do? What do we do?" And they were like, meat, go to eat him. That was I quite enjoyed that bit of that movie actually. Maybe I should put that as my guilty pleasure because it's not good, but I do remember it.
I like that film.
Of course you do. Iron Sky's your favourite movie. I mean, it's...
yeah, all your opinions from here on out are bullshit.
No, it's not my favourite movie.
Well, I think we literally have video evidence in the contrary, Jeeves.
No. My favourite film is actually a Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh, please be Ghost Rider. Please be Ghost Rider.
No.
Please.
Why would it be Ghost Rider?
Oh, it's a terrible movie. Come on then.
Mate, what are you talking about?
Apprentice.
Ghost Rider is a cinematic masterpiece. And the sequel, it's even better. It's even better. Have you seen the sequel? The Ghost Rider. I don't know what it's called. There's a bit when he's like on a motorbike and he's going like just screaming his head off. Like, it's genuinely some of the best cage rage I've ever seen.
No, I haven't. I genuinely haven't. But Jeeves, I'm desperately interested to find out what your favourite movie is.
It's Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
That's it.
My favourite movie is a Nicolas Cage one. It is The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Really?
Yeah.
I lost my pen from that. Bollocks.
Oh, I don't mind that film.
That's your favourite movie?
I love that film. It's one of the very few films that I will watch again and again and again and again.
Is that the one where he makes the music out of the Tesla coils?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, but it's not your favourite movie.
Favourite movie.
I mean, there's good. So hang on. I'm going to link this in. So if you were going into a bunker and you could take 3 films, The Sorcerer's Apprentice is one of them.
Yep.
I don't want to go into a bunker with you, Jeeps. That's shocking. The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Well, we're here for the next 10 years. Did you bring the film? Yeah. Oh, fuck.
I'm fucking real. I mean, when you said Nicolas Cage, I was like, he's done The Rock, Con Air, Gone in 60 Seconds, all of these other movies that are, like, I could rewatch quite a few times, and you choose The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah.
I love you, Jeeves. I love you. I absolutely love you. You're brilliant.
There's your 3 films: Sorcerer's Apprentice, Shark Tale, Cocoon. You don't need anything else.
Yeah, literally, I'm done. That's me done. Can you guys name a favourite film? Because I always find it kind of a bit of a difficult question. I mean, I can usually pick a top. I can say it's in my top 5, but saying a favourite, I always struggle with.
Dances with Wolves.
Dancing with Wolves, of course it is. Beautiful movie. Absolutely beautiful.
I could and have watched it back to back before.
Really?
I watched it twice.
Didn't have a little world interlude?
No, just stuck it on. I love it. I really like it.
It is a good movie. For me, that's a Sunday afternoon movie because, well, you need all Sunday afternoon to watch the fucking thing because it was so long. But yeah, I do like that film. That's
only about 2 3/4 hours.
Yeah, it was Kevin Costner, so that it's like that thing with time.
Yeah, I know. It seems like 5 minutes. Oh,
use that
you're
vibe.
talking about the other way.
I talk about the other kind of time. Yeah. But it's no. I
Have
do
you
like
heard
that
back
film.
from him yet?
No.
Outrageous. Absolutely. What his publicists are bastards.
He's probably a busy man. I'll let him off.
Of course he is, with all his country and western music that he's doing.
Is he as good as Seagal on that front though? Because Seagal has his own country and western band, doesn't he? Thunderbox, and they're.
Is he?
Yeah. Do you remember that program Orange Playlist from about 10 years ago? They used to get like an artist to come on, and Jane Middlemiss would ask them some questions, and it was like, "What's your favorite song from the past, present, and future?" And Seagal named all of his songs as the choices. It's great. It's just worth watching.
That's outstanding.
That's a difficult question to answer, though, isn't it? What's your favourite song from the future?
Well, yeah. But he had no hesitation whatsoever. He was like, "It's my next single." Like, okay, good, all right then.
That is brilliant. And you are right. That is a difficult question to answer. I couldn't answer my favourite song from the future at all. There's literally no chance. I mean, I'm currently obsessed with listening to old stuff because all new stuff is garbage. I've become that old man where it just sounds like noise now. I can't. Yeah,
I'm very much at that point now. My kids are all in the back singing along to it. Oh, shut up! I'm putting on some Hall and Oates.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a proud dad moment the other day though, because I put last summer I had a bit of a Beatles phase, and I just went through all of their albums. And the kids have got an Alexa at their house, and Daisy asked for the Beatles. She's like, "Alexa, can you play the Beatles?" When I'm 64, of all the fucking Beatles songs out there, that's the one she can remember the title for. I was like, "Oh, get in there, little girl."
I mean, I know why you were going through that phase as well, and it takes us nicely back to the film theme, doesn't it? Because that was because of
yes, it does.
Yesterday.
Such a quality movie. I mean, that really did like bring the Beatles back for me. I
loved everything about that film.
Yeah. No, right. It's exactly what I would do as well. Except I'm not a musician, but Harry Potter had been deleted, so I could probably bumble my way through all 7 books of that quite easily.
What film is that? What Beatles film is that?
Yesterday.
Oh, right. I thought we were talking about Yellow Submarine. That's the Beatles movie.
No.
Well, it is.
Well, yeah, obviously. I'm not saying no, it's not. have you seen? No, no, it's not. Have you seen Yesterday? It's the one where the guy, he gets knocked off his bike as there's this weird sort of power cut thing.
Yeah.
And when he comes to, he realizes that certain things have been completely erased from history. And one of them is the Beatles. And nobody knows who the Beatles were, but he still remembers all of their songs and that. So what he does, he's a struggling musician. So he starts like pimping himself out, playing the Beatles songs, marketing them as his own, and gets more and more progressively famous, and basically gets he just explodes onto the sort of music scene, and it ends up being like friends with Ed Sheeran and all this sort of stuff. It's a really, really funny film. Really good though.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, do you remember Good Night Sweetheart with Nicholas Lyndhurst?
Yeah.
He would play all the Beatles songs on the piano and say he wrote, and then everyone thought he was a genius. Yeah.
Benny, it is exactly that, but with an Asian guy. It's exactly that. Damn it! Stop ruining films, man. Why are you?
I fucking love Good Night Sweetheart. Like, I'm waiting for the reboot because I fucking love that.
Do you think they'll reboot? It was quite a cool concept. A dark one. I mean, the guy had 2 wives, 2 families. I mean, I can't say I wouldn't do the exact same.
Have you ever seen the last episode? It's fucking bleak.
No, what happens in it?
He gets like a cosmic like fucking parking attendant realizes that there's like a portal to another place at the back of his shop, so he closes it and he gets trapped in the 40s with none of his stuff from the present, so he just has to live his life in the 40s as a normal man, and leave you remember his mate Ron, Big Fat Ron? Big Fat Ron. He has to leave Big Fat Ron and his wife just crying at the end because he's just disappears and they don't know where he's gone.
Well, the 40s always seemed like the happier time for him. I know it was in the middle of the war, but Yeah, I
Well,
don't.
yeah,
I
just
know, I
because you
don't
could just lie to people and just essentially just be a bigamist and get away with it. So it's kind of, it's
and don't forget the printing of his money as well. I mean, that was. I think for me, that was the most appealing aspect of it, was the fact that you could just print money and go back and buy shit. I mean, crap stuff, because it was the 40s, but still.
no fucking F, mate.
Yeah, total nap. But you could, just get a fucking job and know what to invest in, don't you? Roughly. 40, 60, I don't know. You'd be pushing it. You could retire in a very comfortable way, but I mean, the build up to it would sort of suck.
Or you've got 20 years or 15 years until people work out that you didn't write those Beatles songs, and you get hung or burned to death.
Nah, because if you published them, because he only did Penny Lane, didn't he?
No, he did them all. He did Bob Dylan as well. He did some Jimi Hendrix as well, didn't he? And
you're a bit of a Good Night Sweetheart fan, aren't you?
They'd hang him for stealing songs.
It was the 40s, mate. They could do anything. They'd probably hang his kids as well.
Yeah, just burn them alive and let God sort them out.
Just shout, "He's a witch! He's a witch! Burn him!" That's what they did.
Are you confusing the 40s with the Dark Ages again?
Yeah, probably.
Are they not one and the same? It's
close.
No,
close.
Well, apologies. I didn't know. Oh dear. Well, look. Sorry, I'm just thinking of Jesus's bunker choice movies, because he only got to choose one and we picked the others for him. Outstanding.
I'm almost 100% sure that we picked better choices than he would have, though.
Well, I just think it's harsh that we didn't give him Iron Eagle, because nobody wants that. You can have it on VHS, but only a DVD player. So you just look at the cover.
Mate, I'll be happy with that. I remember the whole fucking film.
What's the song in it? Something about gypsies and had like a real cheesy 80s, I want to say rock, but it wasn't really rock song that they would fly to at the beginning. And he put his cassette player on and
the songs in it I can't really remember, but I do remember that Queen did One Vision for it.
Well, I didn't know they did that for that.
I think if you watch the video, I think there are little snippets from Iron Eagle in the actual video.
Jesus.
Okay. Is this?
No. Well, it's on One Vision. Is in that film.
Well, okay. There's a difference between them using it and then making it specifically for it. Because I know they did Who Wants to Live Forever for Highlander, didn't they?
They're good films, Highlanders.
Yeah, they're films.
Oh, no, what you took the. I will say that about the rest of them, but the first one is a stone cold masterpiece.
Yeah, but have you seen the later one when they're that was made about 15 years ago, where they're like teleporting and all sorts?
Yeah, there's the first. It turns out they're aliens, and he's like, Ramirez. Yeah. He sounds like he's sort of got like a sinus infection in the film, doesn't he? Like, I fucking love that film.
The first and the second one. The second one's in the future, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you've got guys on like flying skateboards.
The Pro.
But I agree with the first one. The first one's a great movie. But yeah, the first and the second I can tolerate. The other ones, they're just a mess.
It's a great concept.
Yeah, and there was the TV show as well, wasn't there?
I mean, let's be honest. The first Highlander's a mess. It's just a beautiful fucking mess, isn't it? You've got like Sean Connery is like, "I'm from Egypt. Where are you from?" And then the French guy is like, "I'm Scottish." Like, it makes this nonsense, but it's wonderful. And it's got some of my favorite lines from any film. Like that guy's like, "Hey, maybe you want to step outside," and he's like, "What's the matter? Cruising for a piece of ass?" Like, he's so good.
Iron Eagle used the song One Vision because One Vision was made in 1985. Iron Eagle was made in 1986.
Oh, okay. So they just used it. That's fine then. For a minute I was just going to burn all of my Queen CDs.
No.
My boy. Because I thought that they'd written a song for that piece of shit movie that you love so much.
I love that film. The sequels are utter shit.
Yeah. Oh God, the premise is someone's dad. Have you seen Iron Eagle, Benny?
I'm just going to look it up now. Actually.
Oh, okay. Well, the premise, is, as far as I can remember, and Jeeves, you can correct me here because you know the whole script, pervert, is
it looks fucking amazing. Just from the picture, it looks amazing.
What picture have you got?
Hang on, so it's the poster. Look at these cunts. Look, like that is just look at that. That's so exciting. Like they're ready for war.
That is the movie there and there. Look, we'll put a proper copy of it up now. For any viewers out there, but yeah, so someone's dad gets lost behind enemy lines, and then a 15-year-old lad steals a massive plane and flies over and gets him. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I've just added it to my list now, man. Iron Sky 1, 2, and 3, and Iron Eagle, and basically anything with the word iron in the title, I'm going to check out now.
I think
you might be disappointed by the Iron Lady.
Iron Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solid film.
I mean, your wife, however, will be really happy when you start with the ironing. But you know, God, I'm such a twat.
So where were we? Now everyone's suddenly got hot drinks.
Yeah,
As
thank God
magic.
for that. Well, we were sort of mulling between favourite movies and not being able to decide on them, weren't we? Before that little interlude.
That's right,
Benny
yeah.
obviously can't decide. Jeeves, this is terrible.
Jeeves
Yours
thinks
is
he's
Dances with
decided. He thinks he's decided. We know better. It's like when people haven't quite come out yet, and everyone knows they're gay, but they've just not said the words, and then they say it, and they're like, "I'm gay, everyone," and everyone's like, "Yeah, I know." It's kind of like that. It'll work it out one day. It'll be like, "Hang on, this film's shit," and we'll be like, "There it goes." there it goes.
Yeah, and until then, because we've discussed it, we're all going to watch it, and Amazon or Prime or whoever are just going to be like, "Oh, this film's really popular," and they're going to commission a sequel.
We're all going to watch it, all four of us. They're like, "Hang on, it's just got another 4 watches since 1998."
We should get together again and have like a little watch party for it.
Oh God, yeah, a little podcast of watching The Sorcerer's Apprentice. I'll be sleeping. I'll turn the lights off and it'll be dark, so I'll be out like a fucking light within minutes. But yeah, I am going to watch it again. I feel like I've given you too much shit to not give it a go. It wouldn't be fair. I'm not going to watch Iron Eagle though.
It's not the worst film I've seen.
Iron Eagle's at the top of my fucking list. Like, I'm looking at that picture, it's just like, why have I never seen Iron Eagle? There's guys who've got so much attitude, haven't they? Like, like stood in front of exploding planes and stuff. Like, it's, you know.
Weirdly, did any of you go to ABK?
No.
Okay, well, I borrowed that film from ABK. I don't remember how I borrowed it, but I remember not owning it, and some way ABK's middle school on the Isle of Wight. But well, anyway, I got it from there, and I watched it a couple of times from then. So I would have been, I don't know, 12 when I last watched that movie. But then we're going straight into the territories of shit films that films that were great and are now shit, isn't it? Off air, we were just saying about it. Like Flight of the Navigator, as a child, I fucking loved that movie. And then I watched it, and I was dead excited to watch it. And God, it's rubbish. It's so bad. And I don't even think the science in it's right. I think it's just total shit. And you know, as we were saying off.
I don't think you can really apply sort of modern day scientific methods to films from the 80s. A lot's changed since then, though, hasn't it?
No, but distance. Someone like, we've got to go 20 miles, and he just goes straight up, and he's at the moon. That's 200,000 miles away. Come on, people. It's not, there's a difference between 20 miles, isn't there? It's just nonsense. Yeah. Have you guys
specific dislike of that film? Very specifically to do with like the height of the moon. That's why I hate it. Not the fact that it's real downer film, or the puppets look shit. It's the fact that they lied about the distance of the moon.
I mean, they didn't even go to the moon. I was just exaggerating. Thanks, Benny. It's just not a good film, people. If you've got happy, fond memories of it, just don't watch it again. I've ruined that for me. All my childhood memories of watching it over and over and over.
I don't mind it. I quite like it.
When did you last watch it, though, Mushu?
Literally a couple of years ago. We had this conversation the other day.
Okay, well, good pretend we didn't.
Oh yeah, I mean, literally a couple of years ago, you'll be astonished to find out, and then you'll ask why, and I'll say it's because I've got kids.
Oh God, have any of you killed off any of your favourite old kid films in that exact same way?
I probably have, but just along those lines, like I had what I thought was going to happen when I rewatched the Clash of the Titans, the original one. I thought that would happen. As soon as I saw those special effects, I'd be like, oh God, this is shit. But it wasn't. It was every bit as good as I remember it being.
No, stop motion animation, because it doesn't look real, is still brilliant. I bought that Clash of the Titans. It's really funny, actually. So I got a Blu-ray player when they first came out, and it was an ex-girlfriend at the time. She bought me a Blu-ray player for Christmas, and I was made up, and God bless her, didn't know anything. And she's like, oh, I got your Blu-ray to go with it, and bought me Gremlins. It's a good movie, but it doesn't exactly encapsulate Blu-ray, does it? I mean, it's from like 1988 or something like that. I mean, it's just a nice film, but it's not exactly what was out at the time. 300, for instance, all effects, and it was, or Watchmen or something like that, where the effects were absolutely fantastic, and I just wanted it for that crisp clarity. And yeah, I got Gremlins. Still an enjoyable Christmas movie, admittedly.
Oh, that's really tickled me. That has.
Yeah, but being the knobhead that I am, I went out as soon as I got this Blu-ray player. I was like, oh, I want some stuff with really good effects. Don't care about the quality of the film. I just want good effects. It's like, oh, the new Clash of the Titans. I'll buy that. It was the old one. So it was actually a bonus because the old one's way better than the new one.
Yeah,
but again, not exactly Blu-ray quality.
No. But no, I remember that, but I don't remember actually having a movie ruined. I don't recall rewatching a movie and it being ruined off the top of my head. I'm sure it has happened, but I couldn't say what.
No, well, I think. What about you, Jeeves or Benny?
To be honest, I don't generally tend to watch watch films. Like Iron Eagle and Sorcerer's Apprentice were the only two films that I really went back and rewatched multiple times. Fuck off the lot of you.
There's so many good films out there that
I was trying so hard,
I've got
Ben.
dozens of movies. There's dozens of movies that I've watched loads of times. Shawshank Redemption and Stand By Me are probably two of my all-time favourite movies.
Oh,
I mean,
Stand By
they
Me,
are.
yeah, what a film.
Never seen it.
Yeah,
never seen either of them.
Oh, you fucking idiot! It's because you spend all your time watching Iron Eagle, you bellend. Fuck's sake!
Surely the appropriate response there is maybe you should watch them. Like fuck you,
You're right, Benny. It is, but this is Jesus. They are both such great movies. They're both Stephen King. Are they novellas or just? Well, it doesn't matter. They're like his short stories that he's written, and they've been turned into movies. And I mean, I shouldn't have to explain Stand By Me or The Shawshank Redemption. What has happened?
Shawshank Redemption. I have seen clips. I haven't actually seen the film.
Fuck's sake! Can you boot him, Moosh? Can you just kick him out?
Well, no,
is there a way that you can explain both of those films to sound like Iron Eagle or The Sorcerer's Apprentice?
Sorry, say that again.
Is there a way that you can describe Shawshank Redemption in a way that makes it sound more like Iron Eagle or The Sorcerer's Apprentice?
Well, as a man, he's got to struggle, and he overcomes some terrible situations to a happy, glorious ending. So,
Is there magic involved?
well,
believe
a
there's
certain
iron.
type of magic.
There's
I mean-
definitely iron in both of them.
yeah, there is. I mean, there's some magic with regards to hiding the soap. That's
Disappearing sausage.
yeah, that's more Shawshank Redemption than it is Stand By Me, admittedly. But oh, and there's a great train dodge as well. I mean, it's a battle between 50 tons of solid steel moving towards a young lad and a bridge and a big drop. Is that exciting enough?
Mate, that sounds like several different films.
Well,
And someone gets a leech on their dick.
Oh, someone does get a leech on their dick. Why didn't I lead with that?
I don't know. That's what sold it for me. I was like, oh yeah, I'll give it a watch.
Shock horror.
And
I feel
it was
like with
the leech.
Yeah. Oh, we see the glorious thing is he hasn't seen it, so he doesn't know how old the main protagonists are.
Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't think of that. Oh, fuck.
I think maybe, Mooshi, that's why my mind didn't go straight to the little boy getting sucked off by a leech. It's got to be said.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I think guys, you run a very charming podcast. Like, I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah. It's, what did I say to you? We start on a topic and then end up just it's a lot of dick jokes. It's something.
We just
Yeah,
have to
well,
apologise because we never wanted the word implicated to be something that applied to you, really. But you are now implicated, I think. But yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm so sorry. You can untag yourself. It's fine. Oh fucking hell. Yeah. Anyway, Mooshi, you didn't say what would you take to a bunker? I mean, I only chose two, but I mean, I'd be happy if I just had both of them. Probably
What, three films? Yeah.
You go. Give yourself.
Probably The Dances with Wolves, The Postman, and Last of the Mohicans.
Fair enough.
Choices, man. Last of the Mohicans is a great film.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm happy with them. I'll borrow your movie.
Bloodthirsty bunker that you're in as well.
Postman, man, I do love that movie. I would say I'm the only person, but well, both share a mutual fondness for him. I probably would have picked Waterworld though, if I was picking a Kevin Costner movie.
Yeah,
what are you
that.
fucking talking about? Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It's the best Kevin Costner film ever made.
Oh, I don't know. It is good. It is very good, but
you know the song. You know the song from it.
Yeah.
I actually downloaded that week to listen to it because I haven't heard it in so long. I was just like,
Brian
I really want that Sting, Rod Stewart, and Brian Adams song. I just really wanted to hear it. And, like literally this week, I split between my book and that all day.
The Rod Stewart and Brian Adams ones from the Three Musketeers.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Could cut that.
yeah, just thinking though,
That's a good film as well. I like
it does depend what you're in the bunker for. I mean, like nobody would maybe in the mood for post-apocalyptic films. You know, could you imagine if you just had like you're literally just watching
I didn't say
what you're going to be coming out the bunker for.
Fritzl's bunker.
You what?
This is Joseph Fritzl's bunker. This isn't. There's been no nukes.
So Fritzl's just tossing in a couple of VHS for you sometimes. I'm popping out to Blockbuster. What do you want?
Yeah.
You got 3 selections. Nice.
Yeah. Joseph Fritzl.
Yeah. I think, to be honest,
It's
if
right
it was a
impregnated.
case, if I was down there with Jesus though, and they're like, right, Jesus has picked the Sorcerer's Apprentice, I'd be like, can I just go for some more arse rape? I don't really want to watch that again.
Yeah, I'll take my turn now. I'm done. I'm done.
It's frightening how quick you got that on.
I'm just concerned with how many he's got. It's just an endless supply. I just love the feel of latex against my body. Oh dear me. I am actually a bit worried to ask you, Benny, if you had to take 3 movies into Fritzl's bunker, what would you get? What is
New
that?
box, but these ones are black.
There's
Oh, okay. Like, I don't know.
Don't me for the fact you're going to put me in a bunker and make me watch these films. Is this part of the? Because that's way too rehearsed. That's just straight on.
Yeah,
if that makes it easier to choose, yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, I've thought long and hard about this, and I think the 3 films that I would take into Fritzl's bunker. I wasn't aware it was Fritzl's bunker, but I think that these would my choices would stand. So, firstly, it would be the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd, because you got the idea. It's about trying to maintain law in a lawless world. So I think that would work very well. Yeah. That's Dick Gunn that he's got that seems to understand him, even though no one else can. And then he understands what he's saying.
I always loved that gun. It had it was such a great gun. I didn't like his motorbike.
Yeah, Lawgiver or something. Yeah.
I've got all of the Judge Dredd comics, and I've read one of them.
And the bad guy in that as well. He's just so fucking good.
I can't remember who the bad guy is in the first one. But...
He's the because the plot is that they tried to make the perfect cop, but they accidentally made the perfect criminal. Which, if you think about that even for a second, what the fuck does that mean? Like that.
Yeah, someone needs firing. That's what that means.
Yeah. so now he's pitted against his twin brother, who looks fuck all like Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
He just sort of pushes his statue around and just sort of yells at people and stuff. That's pretty much what a perfect criminal is. But that's
who's the Mexican geezer? He's in loads of stuff. There's always just a little bit of light relief.
Oh, Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider, thank you. Yeah, him in his younger days before they realised that before Adam Sandler put his little claws into him
when he was Sylvester Stallone's buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because he was, didn't he? He got sent to prison for hiding. I don't like the idea of it. I like the movie. I quite like the new one as well. It doesn't have the charm of the original, but I did enjoy the new one with the psychic bug who didn't wear a Spartan helmet or whatever it was because she could read minds.
I mean, I think the new one's actually legitimately quite a good film, but the Sylvester Stallone one is just a masterpiece of just camp bollocks. It's fucking wonderful. That he gets none of it makes any fucking sense whatsoever. They're allowed to go around and murder people if they want to because they're judges, but then he can break the law. But I don't understand how that works because he like he says, "I am the law." So it's But that would be my first one. So while Fritz was cooking up his Ripnol stew or whatever, I'd probably watch Judge Dredd.
Okay, now hang on, Benny. Where you now know it's Fritzl's bunker, do you want to change any of your choices so that they're not too saucy because you don't want to get worked up? I mean, there's nothing to talk about the movie. No,
not at all. All right. I've chosen 3 films that really speak to my heart and would get raise my spirits. So I'd be ready for 25 years in captivity.
Nothing quite works you up for that. 3 movies.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got to be able to watch them over and over again. So Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, that's the second one. Because who doesn't feel like a giant after they watch that film? It's the painted man, he haunts my dreams.
Yeah, I do like that movie. It makes me just want to do archery again, though. Every time I watch it, it's I want to rip off 2 fucking feathers with my teeth.
I just want to bang a Saracen sword into an old lady because that he's like, and she just gets stuck against the door. That's the best bit of the movie.
What a strange aspiration to take from that film.
It's been my aspiration ever since I was 5 when I saw the film. One day I'm going to hurl a Saracen sword at an elderly woman, and it will. Hopefully, it will come true one day. And then my my last pick is Over the Top. Has anyone seen that?
Is that the cartoon?
No, it's an arm wrestling movie starring Sylvester Stallone, where he's a world champion arm wrestler, but he's got some problems, because he drives a big rig truck. His son is going to a military academy and he doesn't want him to go. So he teaches him the ways of being a competitive arm wrestler. Honestly, it's amazing. It's like every 2 minutes there's a cheesy 80s rock song.
Oh, no.
I think I've seen clips of this.
And at one point, like he's pulling his truck with one arm, like forwards, and it's he's always greasy and sweaty, no matter what's happening. His mullet is always like kind of glistening in the light. It's and after that, I think I could take anything for me.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, that's outstanding. I've never even heard of that Sylvester Stallone movie.
No. Can I just say, when you said, is that the cartoon, were you thinking of Over the Hedge?
Yes, I was.
To be honest, so was I.
Yeah.
It did.
Sorry, Joe. I just got to the bit where the chipmunks are getting their acorns, man. Like,
I did think it was a bit out of character with your previous two choices.
I love Over the Hedge, man. It's one of my favourites. Classic.
I mean, as a producer, it's hard not to see the benefits of taking that in.
Hang on. Don't stick it in yet. The bear's just about to get his dinner. No. Oh, well, that's that moved on then, isn't it? What have we got here? Have you guys got any... Well, Jesus, I mean, you don't even have to answer this question. I think we can literally all answer it for you. Is there any particular film that you've watched more than any other film? Iron Eagle, yeah, we know yours. You could just be quiet.
I'm starting to get the impression that Jesus has actually seen 3 films and just watches them over and over and over again.
Just on a constant cycle.
That would explain why he was so eager to do tonight's podcast. Just like, oh, films, brilliant. Yeah, I know all 3. Yeah. No, Jeeves, there are actually other movies as well.
I've seen all 3. Oh, outstanding. I think my most watched film, by the way, is a shit one. When I was like 14 or 15, I was just obsessed with Scream. I've seen it so many times. And just endlessly.
Yeah, that's an all right film. I could watch that. I mean, it wouldn't be my first choice of film to watch over and over again, but yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, you know what it was like back in the day. There was no internet, was there? So you had what you had. And I don't know how I managed to get hold of Scream, but I was just like, I'm not meant to have this. Ooh. Just watched it repeatedly.
I think I'll take Aliens for me. I'll never get bored of watching that. I mean, obviously Dances with Wolves, but I won't say that again. Aliens, no, I can watch that like over and over because that's just quality fucking.
Oh, it's such a.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Iron Eagle for you, Jesus. What about you, Benny? Is there anything that, even though, you know, Thanksgiving is a good movie for you?
Yeah.
Anything that you've just seen an unhealthy amount of times?
Quite a few. I mean, I wish Iron Eagle was one of them because I'm genuinely really excited to see this film now. Like, I don't know how it passed me by. I keep looking at the picture and it just looks so rad. Do you know what I mean?
I've got the distinct feeling that literally the moment that this closes, he's going to hit play.
I really am. I'm so looking forward to Iron Eagle.
Just print off this picture in like A3 as well. That would make an awesome poster for my wall.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a piece of A3 glossy photo paper. Print that bitch out.
That's going above the bed. I can wake up feeling like that every day. I'm ready for the day ahead.
Yeah, well, maybe we can revisit this question in like a year's time you could be like, Iron Eagle, sit it 97 times.
I've
Easy.
stopped watching other films, and I've just started watching Iron Eagle every day.
Oh, whoa. There's 3 films, remember? There's 3 films. It's not just one. Sorcerer's Apprentice. What was the other one? Cocoon?
That wasn't mine.
No, it wasn't. Was it?
Just getting really angry about it as well. It wasn't mine.
But I did like Top Gun as well.
Top
I have
Gun, yeah.
watched Top Gun quite a few times.
Any of you seen the new one? The remake?
It's not out for next year.
Oh, because it was meant to come out and then lockdown happened and ruined 2020, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I saw it on a bus and I was like, oh, well, I can't imagine that did very well. What with it coming out 2 weeks into lockdown? But no.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
It does look good, though.
Borat. Did you guys watch the new Borat? It came out on Friday.
I haven't watched any of his films.
Oh, well, it's not one of the recommended Jesus free, so you'll be fine. I fucking loved it. I genuinely, I thought it was fucking brilliant. I was just, how the fuck do people, when there's cameras around, they just make themselves look so stupid. He puts them in the best situations where he's not doing anything and they are doing it all themselves. I fucking love that. I think the guy's a genius. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't finish it. I got halfway through and switched it off.
Did you see the end of it?
No.
With what's his name? The president's lawyer. That
Giuliani.
Giuliani. Thank you. Yeah, him. He was literally in a bedroom, taking his trousers, like undoing his trousers, and Borat run because he's got his daughter with him, hasn't he? This has been all over the news, so it's not really a spoiler. Just to give you a head. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm just tucking my trousers in." But Borat runs in. He's like, "No, you can't have her. She's 15 years old. She's too old for you. Well, have me. My anus is not my back. Vagina is nice and tight." It's honestly, it was the most cringy, hilarious thing I've seen in ages. I just felt like dirty watching it. It was so bad, but.
That's why I had to stop, because I don't know, I was just like, it was really cringy, and I thought this should, like, a lot of this shit should be evidence in a trial rather than fucking like in a film, you know. It's just like, but this is acceptable entertainment. Like, we're as a society, we're watching this shit happening, and this shit's happening. Like all these weird old men like threatening to buy his daughter and all that, and it's kind of okay because it's in a film, but it's like, it's fucking weird that there's
That's why it's brilliant. That's what, for me, that's the genius of it. Like, what was it? So there was that with those stupid Americans where they like daddy-daughter dance thing. I can't remember the name of it. It's weird. I assume that's what you're talking about. How much would you buy my daughter for? And he's like $500. He's like, very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unprompted. There's cameras there. He can see that, like, there's a camera recording him. And this foreign guy says, "How much would you pay for my daughter?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know, $500. I mean, it's just so disgusting, but brilliant that they're so dumb they do it. I love that.
It's just uncomfortable.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm all right with uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable works for me. I am. It's god, it really, really did make me chuckle. But I also think he's a really clever guy for bringing it out and then releasing it straight away on Amazon, as opposed to putting it into the cinema like he did the last one just before the election. I mean, very anti-Trump, isn't it? There's no question about it. It's a political thing. I know. Let's talk about politics. I'm not going to go into it. Don't worry, Mushu.
No.
Yeah, it's not having it. I just thought where it came out this weekend, last weekend for the viewers.
Benny, did you say you'd seen it?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it. I finished it about 10 minutes before I joined the call.
Oh, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know. It's a weird one, really, because I thought it was quite good that he managed to find a way to, because everyone knows who he is now. So I thought it was quite good that he managed to find a way to kind of get around that. I thought the daughter was really fucking good. Like I genuinely, I thought like he's one of the best things about him is that he always throws himself into it 100%. Like he will go as far as anyone pushes him, and he'll never back down. And she had the same kind of quality, so I thought that was really good. And the bit with Rudy Giuliani was, you're right. It should have been evidence in a courtroom, because he's just got his hands all over her ass and stuff. And it's just like, for fuck's sake, mate, there's a camera here. It's like you're doing an interview.
It's mad though. Sorry, I mean, I was so blown away by it. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I didn't see any trailers, but I completely agree. The guy's a fucking. There were cameras there. He's like the president's. Is he the president's lawyer?
I think so. Yeah, I think
he used to be the mayor of New York, didn't he?
I don't know. He's definitely a fucking perv. I mean, if there was ever a clearer case of those guys being sex pests, it's him. He's clearly the worst.
Yeah.
Well, not the worst. I mean,
I've got
definitely
no sympathy. I've got no sympathy for any of them whatsoever, because, like you say, it's just fucking pure idiocy, and whatever comes from it is down to them, isn't it?
Well, he's going to get away with it. I mean, it's not going to affect him in any way, shape, or form. I think I didn't know his name before I watched that. I have subsequently, Googled him a little bit. But yeah, it was bad. I've actually had a busy weekend of movies. I watched that Parasite as well, because that came out over the weekend. That was fucking great. Have any of you seen that? The Korean movie?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, I loved it. It's been a while since I've watched a subtitled movie, and I've forgotten how difficult it is to watch one and not play with your phone. It's like my phone kept going off, and I was like, no, I can't read that and that. It's one or the other. Why can't people start phoning me when I'm watching this shit? Read and talk at the same time. But it was a brilliant movie. I can see why it won so many awards. But I mean, Benny, you've seen it, you said, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's not actually about a parasite, though, is it?
In a manner of speaking.
Yeah, in a manner of speaking, yeah, it is.
More like a metaphor.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Probably. Yeah, it's well worth watching. It's deserved, because I've always been a bit dubious when films win a shitload of awards. I'm always just a bit like, is it going to like American Beauty got so many awards. I didn't watch it for years. It was just like, it can't be that good. And then I did watch it, and I was like, okay, right, it is pretty good. But
I generally go along the same lines, that if it says something along the lines of critically acclaimed or Sundance Festival, roughly translates to looks good, bag of wank. In my opinion.
I mean, that's a pretty good summary. You should put that on TripAdvisor or whatever you.
You should get that as a quote on the front of the Iron Eagle DVD.
Critically acclaimed bag of wank. Oh, brilliant. I love that. Oh, God's sake, yeah. I can't. I'm terrible when it comes to awards. I never really put anything in store for them whatsoever. I don't watch the Oscars.
Everyone goes mad about the Oscars, and like most of the things that win Oscars are shit. Like you look at the Godfather 2. Al Pacino didn't get an Oscar for The Godfather Part 2. Who did that year? Don't know. Can't remember. Who gives a fuck? You look it up, and it's something like, The Green House on the Hill. Like, brilliant film. Love that. Everyone's talking about that today, aren't they? Like, it's just fucking ridiculous.
I think the problem is these awards are given out by critics who look for certain things in films, and then you've got me. I'm not a critic. I'm generally after boobs, violence, blood, or something that's going to scare me. I'm
or a kicking soundtrack from now on.
And the thing is, Cocoon has all of these things.
Yeah, you did have all of them. Loads of boobs. I mean, they're not the kind of boobs you want, but still.
You know what? I'm gonna download Cocoon tonight, and I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna be sitting there all the way through it. I mean, it is a good film. Fuck you, Benny. Fuck you, Sam.
With his little box of tissues next to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But James, it's always prudent to have a box of tissues when you're watching a movie. I mean, everything it's all good.
Especially one full of raunchy young ladies.
or wrinkly old ladies, for that matter.
Whatever floats your boat, really.
Yeah. What was that? What was that fucking movie that cleaned up like maybe 5 years ago? It was set in LA, and everybody's dancing around all the time. It's got that fucking guy from Drive in it, who I can't
La La Land.
That's the one. Any of you seen that?
Nope.
Really? So
No.
that's exactly my feelings towards awards. It won shitloads, and nothing about that appeals to me at all.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I hate Ryan Gosling anyway. He's like
That's it.
someone's just drawn a face on a candle. He's got there's nothing about him.
No, he's shit. Do you remember, like with YouTube, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, when the adverts really started kicking in? Because like before, it was a bit hit and miss. There wasn't always adverts. When he had that movie, was it Drive?
Yeah.
That was the advert on every single YouTube video. So I must have seen the advert for that about 90 times. And then I watched the movie, and it was still a stinking heap of shit.
What are you talking about? I love that film. It's great.
Really?
He's lagged out.
That's basically the film. He walks around and like, it's awesome.
I genuinely didn't know if you were having connection issues.
That was the best impression of a skipping CD I've ever seen in my life. Also known as Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I've never watched it on account of the Ryan Gosling content in it. Same as like the new Blade Runner, never watched that either.
Oh, I did watch that, but yeah, I've never got.
I'm a proper dick. If I don't like an actor, I won't watch a film with them in it. Can't do it.
I feel the same way about Jared Leto. I'll only watch films where he gets damaged. So I like Fight Club, American Psycho. You know, anything where he just gets fucked up, I'll watch it. And I seem to really like those films, but I just hate him.
When did he get fucked up in American Psycho?
He's the guy that he axes him in the head. The whole Huey Lewis in the News thing.
You like Huey Lewis in the News?
He's been compared to Elvis Costello, but I think Huey has a far more bitter, cynical sense of humor.
Hey, Alberstrom.
Yes, Al?
Is that a raincoat?
Yes, it is. Hey, Paul!
Was that Jared Leto? I didn't realise.
That's Jared Leto.
I saw that at the cinema, and that scene, I literally laughed out loud in a cinema full of people going, oh! I got some weird looks at that. Some genuinely weird looks. But I didn't realise that was Jared. That's probably because I didn't know who he was back then. I wasn't really in. Well, he's in a band, isn't he? What's the fucking
30 Seconds from Mars.
Yeah. I wasn't into them. I'm still not into them.
I quite like them actually. They're all right.
Oh, really? Yeah, fair enough. I mean, do they have the Mushu seal of approval? Do I need to listen to them?
Oh no, I wouldn't go that far. Just like don't turn over if they do come on the radio, sort of thing. You know. I mean, they're not shite, but they're not the best band in the universe.
The Ryan Gosling scale of 1 to Candle. Where do they? Where do they land?
Yeah, just under Wick, I'd say.
Okay, so does that mean you didn't like him as the Joker then in Suicide Squad?
No, no, he was rubbish. Like that film, mate. That film was fucking crap. Like it was so crap.
I really liked him as the Joker. I thought it was a real different interpretation of the Joker. It's always everybody's put their own spin on the Joker. I didn't like the new Joker, by the way, the fucking mental health awareness movie. I didn't enjoy.
Yeah, but that was better. Jared Leto is Joker was basically, you know, that cunt that turns up to every Halloween party dressed as the Crow or Heath Ledger's Joker. You know, like, oh, look at me, I'm really sexy. That's basically what he was doing in a film. Like I can't even pretend, mate.
You don't have to pretend. It's fine. But genuinely asking the question. But I'm surprised. I enjoyed him as that Joker. But I'm allowed that opinion. I actually I don't hate that movie, but No, I think it's got probably one of the best soundtracks of anything in the last few years. I mean, I've got that on my phone and listen to it regularly.
Yeah, but that's all it has. That's all it has. Like, you can tell those songs were added in afterwards because they're like, this is a piece of shit. Get some Eminem, man. Fucking give it, like, make it exciting. Like, it's fucking painful.
Benny, that worked for me. Anything with a killer soundtrack, I'm just like, yeah, let's go. I love it. A bit Kanye West in there with the Black Jesus. Ah! That's my Kanye impression, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him as the Joker either. To be fair, I thought he was a bit shite.
No, fair enough.
No.
There we go. Who's your favourite Joker?
I was just going to say, do you know what would be really cool is if they could get the original 1960s Joker, but make him slightly scarier. Instead of it like just exactly the same makeup and everything like that, but just make him a bit darker personality-wise. I think that would be awesome.
The scariest thing about him is the fact that he's clearly got a moustache that he's just painted over white. I don't know what it is about that, but there's something really menacing about that.
It's because back then, the only other things that were painted white were dog turds that had been left there for too long. Because you always used to get the white furry dog turds, didn't you? And that's what it looked like, just with all the fuzz under the paint. But no, I thought it was scary because he just looked like a random bloke in a suit who'd just gone crazy one day and dyed his hair and painted his face. He looked normal. You are?
That Batman TV series where it's like, oh, thank God I put my acid-proof suit on, Boy Wonder. I mean, I loved how cheesy that was. It was fantastic.
It's the best version of Batman, hands down. It's the best version of Batman because it exists in this world where it seems like everybody else knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman except Bruce Wayne. Like, he's just a fucking millionaire who's just taking a boy around in his car and like, oh, let's solve some crimes. And the police are like, oh, find a guy, put him in a leotard and make him rob a bank just because Bruce Wayne puts loads of money into the economy, doesn't he? So as long as we keep him thinking he's Batman, he's fine.
That's the overall message of Batman, isn't it? Is if you're a billionaire, you can do what the fuck you want. If you want to drive a massive car up a building, it's fine. Just make a big donation to the hospital after, yeah? Simple.
Yeah, and it's that thing as well with like the Batman movies. They have this, especially the Christopher Nolan ones, like Batman doesn't kill people. No, he doesn't kill people. He fucking breaks their necks and smashes their face into putty, or like picks up dogs and hurls them off the roof of buildings. He doesn't kill them, does he? So,
no.
He leaves them crippled for the rest of their life. That's worse.
Yeah, the medical bills that come from a visit from Batman aren't the best, are they? Man.
No, it's just fucking hideous. Like, it's just, you know, Batman's a cunt. E.T.'s a cunt. Batman's a cunt.
Batman's a cunt. E.T.'s a cunt. The Turtles are cunts. Everyone's a cunt.
I'll tell you what's good fun though. If you're going back over watching the original Batmans, a little game I like to play is watch out for the swear words, because every now and then in the fight scenes you'll get pow, kaboom, wang, or something like that. You're like, wang. Yeah. And occasionally, they chuck one in. I think they said wank in one of them. Like wank was one of them. Brilliant.
But Americans don't know our swear words. There's like a whole bunch of, well, I mean, they probably do now because of the internet. But back then, well, like when was it? Like 95. I was out there, and yeah, half of the words we were saying, like bugger, they had no idea what the fuck that meant, like at all. Twat, they say that wrong. So you can say twat, and they don't know that what you mean is their version of twat, which I've never understood that. Where's the O come from?
No, I don't know.
Stupid. Dumbass. I mean, there are a lot of them, and they've got lots of nukes, but still.
Still hoping to expand your audience on this show.
Yeah, just not
anyone but not Americans. Fuck them.
To be honest, we're kind of big in South America at the moment, so we'll concentrate on that.
Benny. Yeah, South America and Thailand. We smashed it up over there. Do you know about this? Oh God!
We'll explain afterwards. I might have fucked up the post in the wrong area. But there we go.
boosted a picture of the last summer, and it got thousands of likes and retweets, and its reach was massive. As it just got sent out to all the real Christian countries. Our podcast is, yeah, talk about mistargeted.
Yeah, quite.
Oh, still absolutely. Honestly, that comes into my head occasionally when I'm at work. I just start chuckling about it.
Yeah, well, he's got
Amazing.
loads of followers. He can share a few.
Yeah, well, old JC.
Yeah.
Oh, dearie me. What have we got here? What have I got?
What
written
about
down?
animated films?
What about animated films?
good.
What, like?
Do you have any favourite animated films or?
Yeah, you know what? A little bit off the sort of beaten track, but Final Fantasy: The Ghosts Within.
Yeah, is that the number 7 one, or is that the one that came before?
I don't know where it stands in the Final Fantasy universe.
It's like the standalone one that came out, right? Like the
I thought it was standalone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's incredible. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's
Yeah,
amazing.
I remember that movie. The animation at the time was so good. There were bits where I didn't realise that it was animated. It just looked so real and impressive.
Yeah.
I might have watched it in Chinese and just left it on because I was so impressed with the animation of it. It wasn't until many years later I watched it with English on there, and I think I enjoyed it more in Mandarin. I don't know what language it was filmed in. But yeah. Well, Jeeves, you brought it up. What's your give us your favourite animated then?
Spirited Away.
Is that the horse one?
Nope.
I'm bad tonight.
So if we are going into a bunker and we need some DVDs, don't tell Sam to go and buy them. We could end up with
Oh, you Black
fucking
Beauty.
anything.
Love that, don't you? Same thing.
Yeah. What's the way about Jeeves?
That's the Oriental one, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's to do with the Japanese theme park. If my memory serves me right. I've seen quite a few of his films.
Our Studio Ghibli. It's the Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few of his films. I quite like them.
I mean, they're
Spirited Away.
fucking bonkers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, don't watch it if you're under any kind of influence of anything. Because
Will they fuck you up?
I don't know.
No
I mean,
face.
I've watched it and I was just like, this is literally the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. And then everyone else is just like, oh, what a good film. And I'm like, am I the weird one? Am I the one that thinks like abnormally? I don't know. But they are good.
I quite like them films.
Oh, pardon me.
Because I've also seen his films like Ponyo, is it Howl's Moving Castle?
Yeah.
I know that one.
My Neighbour Totoro, or whatever his name is.
So I presume all of this is like manga then. I mean, it's probably got a different name these days. Is it anime?
They're more like kind of.
It's like the Japanese version of Disney films.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I reckon I'm going to hate them.
I quite liked as well, and I don't know why, but I quite liked Kiki's delivery service.
Now that probably sounds a lot better than it is. I'm assuming.
Well, I assume it's about somebody delivering dumplings, but
Do they have the word Brazzers in the bottom corner?
No.
I ain't watching it then, mate.
Yeah, it's not for me.
I can't think of any animated movies that I particularly. I like a lot of like cartoon. Oh, Quality. I can't see that. I was being sarcastic.
It's about a witch starting a delivery service. I think if the top of my head, it's been a few years since I watched it. Spirited Away.
Well, you got
Brilliant.
to Google it. He's like, hang on.
The problem
I
is,
best at least Google this
it has
film
been
that I'm
quite a
saying
while
is my
since I've
favourite.
watched these films.
Yeah, it was my favourite cartoon. God, what's it about? About a horse. It just runs through the woods.
That is my favourite film.
That's a Barclays
One of my favourite animated.
Barclays. It's Lloyd's, you idiot. It's
Oh, right, okay, all right.
Fucking hell.
Oh, I saw the new Frozen. Does that count? That's an animated movie, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it?
I'm-
I mean, is that your favourite, or is it just one you've seen?
No, not even close. Shit. I'll take that right back. If we're talking favourite ones, I was just saying I've seen it.
No.
That's it.
What's your favourite one?
Favourite animated. Can I have a TV series instead? Does it have to be a movie?
Well, I think seeing as the program's called Movies, there's no maybe, it might be a good idea. But we did talk about
I'm with
Wood.
Benny on this.
Yeah, so
Yeah, no, it's
So,
fine.
Sam, fuck you.
Yes. Wow. Well,
Boom.
fuck you. Yeah. Now I'm put right on the spot. I haven't got a fucking clue. Oh no, actually,
They know how I feel.
is it called After Earth? AE? It came out a while ago. I just
Titan
remember
AE.
Titan AE. I really enjoyed that movie.
Really good
That was-
soundtrack as well as it goes.
Yeah, that's the reason
lit.
I like it.
Yeah,
Lit to the I'm in over my head song, didn't they?
yeah, that's it. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
That was.
Just like Suicide Squad, Betty, it's an incredible movie because the soundtrack is excellent. Fuck you and your mother.
Well, all I can say is at least my mum's got miniguns.
Well,
Your mum's got mini guns.
don't.
Is that what
ask.
you call them?
Don't ask.
No,
Just
it's a very
don't
long.
ask. Yeah. Yeah. Following on from that, Benny, do you have a favourite animated
Quickly,
film?
move on.
Benny, say something to make us talk about something other than what Jesus is doing.
so when you say mini guns, what do you mean?
No. You see, Benny, that's where you've gone wrong. You've gone straight back on that same conversation.
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, one animated film that it's a fucking terrible film, but I love it. Is do you remember like the Transformers movie from the 80s, like the cartoon?
What, the one that had Iron Maiden as the soundtrack?
I made none on the soundtrack.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure.
Ooh.
Quick Google.
Sure, man.
Is this the one? Is this the one where Megatron gets turned into the pistol? Is
I
that the
think Transformer. That's kind of the gist of the show. But
Yeah.
one? No, because it's
Oh,
quite a
is
few
that the one
different.
where the robot turns into the other thing? Yeah.
'Cause it's when because he finds Galvatron, the planet, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he turns him,
That
changes what he transforms into.
that is indeed the one. I fucking love
Yeah.
that. It's the most cynical fucking kids movie ever made. They got all these characters that kids were really attached to, and they were like, "Well, we don't want to sell those toys, and we want new ones, so fucking slaughter them." So the first 20 minutes of this kids film is just like Optimus Prime and all the hero transformers getting their heads blown off and kicked into space and stuff.
I
It's
don't remember any of that.
and it's just got like a screaming 80s metal soundtrack. Like it's great.
I quite like that. I actually quite like that as a business model. If you really want to get rid of something, just fucking blow them up.
Oh, yeah. There's no mercy. Like they just get fucking slaughtered. Like, there's a kind of a charm to that. I think, you know, when I was a kid, it kind of upset me, but now as an adult, I sort of can drink that cynicism in. Like, yeah, fucking blow his head off.
You lived in movies that you really wanted to die. It's just you saying about all those people dying made me think there's plenty of people out there that I'd have loved to have seen get properly fucking killed. Do you know what I mean? Like the characters who have died, or not even died. There's loads of times when they're within films. There's somebody that you really wish had fucking kicked it and they didn't. You got any of them?
The little boy in Love Actually, you know, the one that's with like Liam Neeson. He's a little prick, and there's that bit where they're at the funeral at the beginning, and Liam Neeson's like, "My wife is dead, and I wish that," and it's almost like he's about to say, "I wish that the child had died instead." He's such a little prick, though. Do you know what I mean? It's just like I think it would have worked maybe if he'd have fallen under a bus or something towards the end of the film.
But fair enough. He got the girl though, Benny.
But he's not Neeson's kid. And Neeson is basically, he married this woman, she's dead, and now she's looking after his like tosser little kid. And it would have been a nice ending for Liam Neeson's character if the kid had been thrown under the bus or something, you know?
And he still ended up with Cindy Crawford.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Never.
I mean, I'll go along those sort of lines. Like the kid from Kevin from Home Alone. Like if they could remake that.
Just died of malnutrition.
No, like the burglars get him at the end. You know, that would be good.
Oh.
Joe Pesci, mate. You should have put the kid's head in a vice and just crushed it until his eyeballs came out. Like that's.
I'd subscribe to that. Yeah, that's a bit. Yeah, just get some really, really good fellas at the end. Yeah, I'd like that.
But that's the thing. It's fucking Joe Pesci, man. Like he should have just fucking beaten that kid to death. The other guy should have been like. Marv should have been holding him back, like, come on, man, we just need to rob the house. But he's just going again and again.
45 minutes later, he's still going.
You motherfucker! Shut your fucking mouth, you prick!
You see, who wouldn't watch that? Who wouldn't watch that?
Yeah. I mean, you've just made Home Alone way better. way better. Oh, fucking hell. What about you, Jeeves? Anybody that you wish had died that hadn't?
You?
I'm not in the film, though, fortunately.
He's really salty about that fucking Sorcerer's Apprentice comment, isn't he?
Fuck off.
No one. I don't really have a lot else to talk about with regards to movies. I mean, I could talk about movies for hours and hours and hours. What about you guys? You got anything?
Just really quickly, favourite actors and why? Or actresses.
Okay.
Anyone?
Jack Nicholson.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
Let's all talk at once again. Come on. On the count of three, so means you can't hear us.
Why? Why can't it just go smoothly for me? All I got out of that was Jesus saying Robert Downey Jr. for his probably for his Oscar-winning performance in Iron Man.
No, more for Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes, fair enough.
Oh God, he's done so many cool movies, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of him being someone's favourite actor before, though.
Well, Robert Downey Jr. I like the guy. He seems like he's fun as Iron Man.
Isn't he a massive cokehead or something?
Have you not watched his
films
of him as Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
All right. I mean, they came out at the same time.
Interesting.
Sherlock
You
came
still
out,
disagree with me? Yeah, they're all right. Then they haven't thrust him into the limelight for me, though. I don't think. Mine's fairly obvious anyway.
Because he's, I watched that Soloist because he was in it, expecting something along the lines of Sherlock Holmes or the Iron Man, and I was sorely disappointed.
It's not fucking blown anyone up. This is boring.
Yeah. And the second main character is a mental who lives under a fucking bridge. What's this shit about?
They're gonna turn into robots, man. This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, it wasn't my favourite film. Jeeves, you'll probably love it though. So it could be your new favourite movie by him. Who's your favourite actor then? Not Jeeves. Moosh.
Well, it was probably Kevin Costner, just for the Dance with Wolves. It's my favourite film, so it makes sense that he's my favourite actor. I'm quite boring like that. I don't really branch out.
Oh, fair enough.
That or Helen Mirren. I quite like Helen Mirren.
Is that because you think she's hot?
It's the reason, isn't it? Yeah, she's not. She's aged extraordinarily well. She didn't need any cocoon. She's like naturally radiant at that age. Yeah.
And for the same reason, I choose Brian Blessed. I think. Do you know what I mean? Like he's wonderful.
What fucking movies has he been in apart from Flash Gordon?
MacGyver for a start.
That's a
There's a
TV
MacGyver movie. There's a MacGyver movie, and he's MacGyver's mentor in the movie. Yeah, it's pretty good. He gets trapped in a volcano and has to escape with a gold plate and a shoelace.
Oh,
Thrilling. It's as thrilling as it sounds.
He was in Blackadder as well.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
didn't know
he did a voice of in a film that I watched this morning. An animated film from the 90s that I'd never heard of, that had Ben Kingsley, Brian Blessed, Jenny Agutter, and I was like, all right, okay, I'll check this out. It's called Freddy. Freddy is FR07, and if I sort of try and summarize the plot really quickly, it's a cartoon about an ancient French prince whose dad is a wizard who then dies, and then the prince gets turned into a frog, but he also has telekinetic powers. He makes friends with the Loch Ness monster, and then decides to grow to man size, and then becomes a secret agent with a talking car in a world of humans.
Huh.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before, and there's very good reason why.
Jesus is just down there like, that sounds brilliant.
Everything I love in a movie.
Yeah, you said something in that, and I can't be the only person. When you say FR07,
Frot.
What does that mean?
Well, yeah, exactly. I think what it's meant to be is it's meant to be a pun on 007, but it doesn't really work. But they continuously say it like it does work and never really give it any explanation. It took me about an hour of watching the movie to realise that, oh, right, it's a 007 joke. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get that at all. But I think we all we're just like, oh yeah, obviously, I get it. But no, I really didn't get it.
I think anyone would stumble when you're a telekinetic frog.
It would have made more sense to call him Double Toed 7.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that.
But that's a level of thought that just hasn't gone into this film.
That's quite remarkable that I'm having that level of thought. I mean, someone definitely needs firing somewhere.
Oh, amazing! I don't think I've got a favourite actor. I mean, there's lots of actors I like, but there's no one I really get hugely excited about. Not that I can remember their names anyway. Sorry.
No, that's brilliant. Thanks.
I asked a question. I gave you not really the answer
Not
that
even
you
a favourite
wanted.
actress or anything like that.
I mean, there's loads. I like Jennifer Lawrence. She's, but you know.
That's because she's hot, isn't it?
You love Christian Slater. You love Christian Slater. You're always going on about Christian Slater. Every time I see you, you're like, oh, Christian Slater, mate. He's brilliant, isn't he? Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Heathers, others. You know, like
Flatliners.
You were so quiet during the guilty pleasures section. What's going on here, Sam?
Actually, you know what? It's got to be said that SFW that has Christian Slater and the Pump Up the Volume are very, very guilty films of mine with the Happy Harry hardcore.
Are you ready for the incredible sound of Hard Harry coming on his own face?
Oh my God. It's very possible, you know.
Yes, Hard Harry will go to any length to keep his 3 listeners glued with ooey blooey to their radios.
No, just me. Have you not seen Pump Up the Volume?
Hopefully just you, mate, yeah. Hopefully there aren't more.
Pump Up the Volume is crazy.
It's what I mean. I was just fucking stabbing in the dark saying you like Christian Slater. I didn't realise that you were a huge Slater fan.
Benny, I didn't realise it either, but it turns out I've got a massive hard-on for Christian Slater. He even has a cameo in The American Office. Oh my God, I'm in love with him.
Wow, you picked that scab and Sam is bleeding.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. Christian Slater, he's done a load of classics from the 90s. I love them all.
Right.
It's not who I would pick normally, but, you know, only Benny knows best.
which is the name of my podcast, which will be coming out shortly.
Benny knows best. You just get people on and talk at them. So you really like jelly, you like Christian Slater, and you can't eat chocolate. How do I know this? Because Benny knows best.
Looking at you, I'd say that you're a huge fan of Iron Eagle.
You know what?
No, fuck it out.
Knowing what a
I'm
huge
so
fan of
fucking
Iron Eagle
excited
looks
to watch
like, that's quite insulting.
I'm so excited to watch it. I really am. Like, I can't wait to see Iron Eagle. I've just it built it up too much now. It's never going to live up to the hype.
We're going to wake up tomorrow to Benny committed suicide.
It's never going to get any better than this, boys.
The world has ended because, and also to clarify, only one person here has built this movie up, other than yourself. But yeah, Jeeves likes it, and you've just been looking at the trailer with like hungry eyes for the last 45 minutes.
It's been a bit weird, actually. Yeah.
That you talk about it with me. Do you know what I mean? You talk like it's like Iron Eagle. Like when you say it, I believe it. You know.
No, it's the iron law, isn't it? Yeah, there's nothing bad about that. Have you got like a favourite particular genre that you can keep coming back to? Jeeves, I'm not posing this question to you because we know it's 80s. But yeah, is there anything when you need a film, you're just like, do you know what? I need a horror film right now, or a comedy, or a 1980s 1.8. Woohoo!
It's usually, I would usually say the genre I like is about guys that get planes and use them to rescue family members. I think that tends to be the genre that I go back to.
So, do they have to specifically rescue them, or can it just be guys on planes like Con Air?
Con Air, like Con Air and The Rock, two films I will always go back to. I never get tired.
I do. Do you know what? I actually do love both of those movies massively. I am, but yeah. What are you, Mishy? You got a favourite genre apart from musicals?
I only like the one musical. All the other musicals in general, I think, are a bit shit. And that is a sweeping statement, but I'll stand by it. Now, anything which involves, I don't know, like, yeah, Indians, Civil War sort of stuff, you know, like men that go out to their outpost, soldiers maybe going out to an outpost, being stranded out there, making friends with Indians, that sort of thing. Maybe with some form of acrobatic animal, like a wolf dancing or something along those lines. I don't know. Anything like that. That would do for me.
Yeah. What about ones, you know, set in a land where there is no land, where it's like just wet?
Oh God, that was so frighteningly close to the trailer.
Yeah.
In a world without land.
Wet world. How's that? Does that work for you?
Like trying to work out the title for Waterworld, and it's like there are two guys that just are deadlocked. It's called fucking Wet World, mate. It's just a better name.
Oh dear. Welcome back, Jim.
Come back to something about Wet World.
Wet World, yeah. Oh, this is what I was meant to say earlier. I was looking for. I mean, sorry, total tangent. Nothing to do with films in any way, shape, or form. But we told the other week when we did Down the Rabbit Hole. I was trying to find a book about a hitman, and all I could remember is that the hitmen are called wet boys. So I googled.
Don't do it.
And I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, don't Google wet boys.
I can guarantee you what Andy's going to do.
Front door, blue lights flashing outside.
Yeah, I was just trying to tell somebody at work about it, and like I'm part of a Facebook group about books. And I typed in wet boys into Google, and immediately was like, "This was a mistake. This was a mistake." And I back out of it, and I asked on this Facebook group. Within 30 seconds, they told me exactly what it was. And It's the Night Angel series, in case you're wondering. But yeah, don't Google Wet Boys. I mean, and as literal searches go, I mean, actually, if you're looking for Wet Boys,
do Google Wet Boys.
well, the few times Google doesn't take you straight to Amazon, actually.
It's wonderful that there's a sort of moral of this episode, I think. It's really nice. You know?
Yeah, well, Jerry, what's his name? Jerry Springer used to do his final thoughts of the day, didn't he? It'd be like a mini little prayer at the end. And all, if you take anything from this, lovely listeners,
Iron Eagle is worth a watch.
Now he pipes up.
Yeah, Iron Eagle is worth a watch. Iron Maiden didn't do the soundtrack to a movie, a Transformers movie back in the day, and preferably don't look up Wet Boys, or do. I mean, it's a free country.
You know, Moosh
really
going to do that,
ambiguous
right?
message, isn't it?
Literally, he's going on fucking Wet Boys.
Oh fucking hell!
I
Has
want it now.
anybody got any topics you want to talk about?
I mean, I'm wondering maybe whether you should retitle this episode to Wet Boys.
Oh, we're definitely going to.
Just force people to Google it. If you want to watch it, you're Googling it. It's up to you.
And at 10:15, you watched a video called Wet Boys.
I'll do it, but it'll have to be in quotes.
As I get an angry call from my mum, I've just tuned into your podcast. It's not what I expected. No, turn it off, mum. Turn it off. Oh God, no! I'm all out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jeeves?
Yeah, I'm all out.
You're all out. Benny?
I mean, we should definitely plug Benny's YouTube channel anyway, shouldn't we? 7 Horses Films.
Well, I was going to say, do you want to just plug yourself?
Yeah, do that. Save me the fucking problem. Save me the trouble.
Very generous. Thank you very much. Bothered. You go.
Well, in all fairness, you're more likely to get it right.
But that's the thing. I don't mind. Like, I don't mind. Like, I think it'd be funnier if you got it wrong. I'd like to know.
Okay, well, there you go.
Well,
Check out 7 Horses Films. I'm pretty sure it is 7 Horses Films. If not, you might just end up watching films about 7 horses.
I've been Wet Boys on the end.
No, but thank you, Benny. Cheers for coming along, man. What was that?
It's Wet Boy Productions, I believe it's called.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm actually just about to release a new film called Wet Boys. It's about a guy gets very confused and accidentally Googles something that he wasn't bargaining for the answer, and it takes a seedy underworld of crime and recriminations.
And ultimately ends up in him appearing on a podcast, which no real idea what he was doing there for. Yeah, it's a slippery slope, isn't it?
Well, that was... Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Especially for a wet boy.
Yeah, it's super slippery. I mean, everyone was just like shiny. In the... Oh, well, in that case, should we wrap this up?
Let's do it. As always, if you can, give us a like, follow, recommend us to a friend, get shares out there. Don't forget the merchandise now on Spreadshop /
Wet Boys.
Not. Yeah, I mean, they might have some merch and all. just go on the Spreadshop and search for Pacifist Podcast. You'll find it all there, or the links in the comment section down there.
Yeah, and also don't forget the YouTube page, Insta. There might be a Twitter. I don't use it. I don't know how to make it work. What's Rambo started doing?
Oh fuck yeah! Apparently we're on TikTok now as well.
That's it. TikToks.
Like Ute. Like we are Ute.
Yeah, get us down with the youths. All trouble. Honestly, sorry. Before we go though, have you used TikTok?
I can't go on it. The rabbit holes.
I loved your message.
I
spent fucking 10 minutes. So I got it to like the page because, you know, I like to contribute. And I ended up watching 10 minutes of videos of people drinking milk and dribbling it down themselves. What the fucking hell point was that? And it was so compelling.
I bet you still had a wank to it though.
I mean, I don't know what to say to that. I
You don't have to say anything.
Are you still recording?
Yeah, I should have filmed it, put it on TikTok. But yeah, well, anyway, thanks for listening.